So, right, let's have a project. Something that we can all work together on and contribute to. What we found is, well, the diesel heater doesn't want to burn waste oil. I mean, it does. They do. So, a lot of people are running their heater on a waste oil mix. And I don't know how, some people have said that it runs fine and they haven't had any issues, but I don't know, is that just a matter of time, depending on their mix and dirtiness that it clogs up? Whereas other folk have said, oh yeah, mine does exactly the same thing, it just runs and then clogs up. So, it does run and it will burn waste oil, but it appears that it will clog up eventually. Right, so this was the modified burn chamber that I did, that I took all of the insides out of, and I tried running diesel, doesn't really like diesel either, and I tried, some people suggested my fan speed was too low, so I tried it as hot and as hard as I could get it to go, still made plumes of black smoke, so I tried low and slow, and it made still plumes of black smoke, but it appears to have ran slightly better at some point, but still is not ideal. So what I want us, and all you clever people to do is, we're going to design some sort of waste oil burner that we can use the parts and the electronics and the bits and bobs from the cheap Chinese diesel heater. So for folks out there that don't have any experience or any willingness to do anything with any electronics, this is ideal, because we'll just take all of the electronics and brains from the Chinese diesel heater and apply them to our waste oil burner build, and then hopefully all we've got to do is a bit of, well, making things like scrap and a bit of cutting and welding. Hopefully we all know someone who can weld, or we can basically just weld ourselves. So what I have envisaged so far on a bit of paper in my head, this is the body, and we're either going to have to make something to take up the space or cut our bodies into bits. So what we have is, that's the heat exchanger that our burn chamber sits into. So we want that to be in there, but I don't want the heat exchanger to be there anymore. So we either have to chop the heat exchanger about there, cut it right through, just chop all of that off. So we've got our burner sitting there. We're still going to need, well, we need that bit because that's the bit the blower motor goes into. So if we take the burn chamber out, the blower motor still has to sit there. So we want blower motor, that spacer, and our burn chamber to sit like that. And that's what we're going to have as the basis, I think, for our waste oil burner. So, time to use your imaginations and your scrap. So imagine we've cut that bit off, we've got that much of a spacer that everything bolts into. We've got that on the bottom, that'll just be poking out like that. I don't know what to do with the blower fan yet, because we need the magnets on it to be the RPM sensor. So I don't know if we just build something around it to blow the air round about what we build on top. So imagine you've got, this is now poking out of whatever we make this. So there's going to be basically hot burning gases if we still use the glow plug and the fuel pipe where it is. So I'm envisioning, if we can have this poking out, make a tray that's shaped like a donut to sit about here in that space. We'll put a little cap over the top so the air comes up and is then forced back down into our tray, and then into the tray we drip our waste oil from either a secondary fuel pump or as the primary fuel source as well, and then maybe take the glow plug out of there, and I don't know, somehow build it into the tray so we can have it glowing, and then it'll just drip our oil straight onto the glow plug, and hopefully that'll make it light. Obviously we'll have the air coming in and getting mixed like that. So we'll have our burn chamber, donut, glow plug somehow attached into the tray and sitting, oil feed dripping onto it, can't be blown down, and then hopefully that lights. And then we take this whole thing and we build it inside a big cylinder, or a big-ish cylinder, to enclose that bit, and then that becomes like a big chimney, and we put a top in the chimney, and that keeps it hot. So we've got all of our hot burning gases in this but like a standpipe basically, and that'll be what radiates our heat. That's what I've got so far. That is so far in my cardboard brain. That's what I've got. You're basically, it is kind of like the Thermobile industrial waste oil burners, in which we'll be dripping our oil onto a hot pan, and then the oil hits the pan that's hot, flashes, you get your now combustible gas, and it leaves the waste behind. And then once you're finished burning, you can just take your, well, once it's cooled down obviously, take your standpipe off the top, take your little lid off on your donut tray, and then you can empty out all the waste contents and all the unburnt bits and crap and shite, and then you can put it back together and it's ready to go for the next time. You just fire it up and everything's controlled by the diesel heater, you know, be it with the normal control panel or with the afterburner if you're using a controllable one. And then we'll have something that can sit there, and we'll obviously have to build it on legs so it's standing up, and then it'll be able to burn away quite happily and burn waste oil. That's all I've got so far. That's what I'm gonna, well, not gonna attempt to build, because what I'm gonna do is let everyone comment on this for a week or two. Got other projects. Still got this 48 volt lithium cell here. I do have the BMS in the house. I think I'm gonna take the whole thing into a workbench in the house and do the soldering in the warm, and not out here in the workshop. Still got that to do, still got other bits and bobs to play about with while people comment and think about this and how to do it. So stage one would be to use the Chinese diesel heater controller. Advancing from that, we would use the Webasto board, which will give us more control and more options and to be able to do other things. And then further on from that, there's the other thing with the two pumps that could be used to, if this doesn't work, then we can start it on diesel and then have it switch to waste oil once it's hot. All of these are options further down the line, but if we could get the basic thing to work first, which would just be dripping waste oil in a little tray and having the diesel heater burn it happily, that would be a good place to start. This is the test here. For all the people that are thinking of run waste oil and just swapping the burner out a lot, I recommend you helicoil those 3 holes, because I've already stripped the threads out of one of them, and that was me just swapping the burn chamber like 6 times. So now they're helicoiled, steel threads, won't need to worry about stripping them out again. But that's just a side note. Any comments, questions, thoughts? Leave them down below. Any drawings and diagrams and things people like to send me, I'll put my email address in the description as well. You can just email me pictures, drawings, anything like that, any suggestions. And we'll see, hopefully, as a group, we can build some sort of waste oil burning diesel heater contraption. Oh, as always, thanks for watching.